Welcome to the second video tutorial for Ocular, a Joomla template for Joomla 2.5 and Joomla 3. In this video, we're going to go over the administration side of Ocular. So let's go ahead and log into the back end. For this demo, I'm going to be using Joomla 2.5. So first, let's go over here and let's check out the main menu. Most of what I'm going to show you here is in the documentation area of our website. So you just go over to the documentation to the template docs and look up Ocular, and this is all going to be in there. I'm going to also just go over some more styling features of the XSE framework as well. So let's go ahead and check out a few things that I've already documented, but you should know here. So the center, portfolio left and portfolio right, use a page class. In our first video, I showed you that we have portfolio views for portfolio center, left and right. Now to get this to do this, you have to go over here to the menu item and go to the page display options, and you have to enter center large, left large, or right large. That will take care of the actual layout, and that's how you change that. So the next thing, let me show you here on the testimonials. Okay, on the testimonials, we're just using an image flow here, but I wanted these images to be larger for when we went to responsive, so they could be larger, but we only wanted to show them at about 20% here. So we go over here to the testimonials, and we look at the page display options, and you'll see we have IMG W20. That's image width 20%. So you put that in there and it'll go ahead and size the images smaller. So let's go back here to the site and let's go ahead and go over the basic styling here. So we're going to go to the template manager. And we're going to select Ocular. And here we have our global settings. Now here is one of the most common questions people have. Mobile device detection. The template is responsive. What the mobile device detection does is it loads in a separate mobile template, which is not needed now that things are going responsive. But we have added a mobile template in case somebody wants to definitely use a stylized mobile template. So you can go ahead and leave this off. That's not going to hurt anything because the template is responsive. If you turn it on, you're going to have to move modules into special positions for the mobile. So we can just leave that off. Here in our layout settings, here's the default. We have it set for the default grid style. We have it set for template style 1. So if you want to load up the template as style 2, 3, or 4, you just select that here. And you can leave all these the same here. Now this is for the mobile as well, and we were talking about the mobile, but we don't really need that because the template is responsive. So let's look at the grid settings. Okay, the main wrap width, that's the actual width of the website. So we're at 1680 here. Responsive features, this will turn the responsive features on or off. So say that you or your client doesn't want everything to resize for mobile, and you want to look just the same on mobile as it does when you're viewing it on the desktop, you just turn the responsive features off. We have included a header sticky option here. Right now we have it off because it seems to be the trend. Everybody has a sticky header, so we thought, let's just turn it off for now. But you can turn that on, and the header area will remain at the top of the site while you scroll. So then here we have your basic padding left and right, top and bottom. The header fixed or fluid width. Fixed means it's going to adhere to the 1680. Fluid means it'll go all the way out. Here's your menu style. You have suckerfish, dualfish, or you can select none. And none is for no styling. Say you want to install a third-party menu system in. That will turn all the styling off for the menu, so it will inherit the classes that come with the menu module that you're installing, just in case there's a conflict. And here we have our main menu mobile width, and this is the width at which it's going to go ahead in responsive mode switch to just that 3 bars, and it's clickable on a mobile to go ahead and select pages. So that's where you want to set your width when you want the menu to collapse and go to the mobile view. Here's a region configuration, and this is what I showed you in the first video tutorial. You can set your regions up here. It goes 1 through 10. You just move these around and go ahead and save, and then you'll have a whole new layout for your home page. And here we have each region. Like we said, we have 10 regions. So for each region, we have a selection for, do you want it to be the fixed width or the fluid? Do you want padding top and bottom, left and right? And would you like to hide this region? So if you want the region to go away on mobile, you would just go ahead and say, okay, I want to go away on like an iPhone, so 320. Okay, I want to go away higher, let's do 900. And that region will not display at that device level. And that goes for all the regions here. Then of course, you have your footer. And then we have our left and right columns. And they're based on the Bootstrap 12-column grid. So you've got your left 2, left 3, 4, 5, 6, and these correlate right here with the regions. So if it's a region 9, that would be the left and the right 9. So we've got a 2-column span and a 4-column span. So that's taking up 6 columns out of the 12. So that's kind of how you look at it. If you want to have something on the right, like here's the right 4-column span, that means it's going to be 40% of the screen, while your component will be to the left of that at 60%. So if you're not familiar with a Bootstrap 12-column grid, I would suggest you go ahead and learn about that a little bit, because Bootstrap is where everything is going, and the grid feature. So here we have our modules, and this is the separator between modules vertically. And now here's the mobile show suffix and the mobile hide. So if you have a module and you want to have it hidden at a certain level, you'll go ahead and put in mobile hide, and then it'll adhere to this width. That module won't show at that width. If you want something to show on mobile and not shown anywhere else, you would go ahead and type in mobile show, all one word in the module suffix, and then it would show at that width. So let's go ahead and get into the style settings here. So let's just use style 1 for instance. Okay, so this is the body front page background color. This is the body color. You can have a background color, you could have a background image, and an image position. Same for the sub pages, and same for mobile. So say that on the home page you wanted to have the background of everything be dark, but on the sub page you want it to be light. So you have that option there. The style color scheme, these are the base colors, and this really denotes what the color scheme is here. You'll notice that we've got the yellow here. Well, when we look at our page here, that's what's creating this yellow. So if you want to change that yellow, you change it there. And basically, you'll just have to go in here and change some of these color values and see what it does to the template, and you'll know which parts it's affecting. So here's our header. And this is the full wrap background, and that would be the entire width of the site background. And then we have our background color, which is white there. You can have an image, you can have an image position. Here's the logo. So you just upload your logo to the template Ocular images logos, and then you can select it right here. And this is the logo width and height. Now that has nothing to do with what size your image is going to be by changing that. That doesn't change anything because it's just a background image. That's actually giving the space for it. So if your logo is 168 by 49, you type that in. If it's a different size, you type that in. But that's not going to resize your logo for you. And here we have the logo padding. As well, we have the same thing here for a mobile logo image. So let's say that your logo's pretty long. And as you pull the site in and it goes responsive, it starts covering stuff or gets cut off. Well, you can go ahead and switch it out for a mobile logo image. And you just set right here the width. Say at 900, I want it to flip out to this logo. And here's your basic menu styling. This is your wrap background color, the item background color for each item, the hover background color. As you see, we have nothing here because all we're doing is changing the colors here. So this is the font colors, active and hover. And here's our drop down. So this is the background color for the UL. This is the background color for the LI. So this is going to be the overall background color, and this is going to be the hover background color for each item. And here's the text colors. And here's region 1. Region 1 through region 10 are basically going to be the same. And here's the settings. So you have your wrap background color. That's the full wrap. Then you can have an image and a position. You can have the region 1 background color, and that adheres to the max width of the site, the fixed width. So here, and here's our slide 1, background image slide 1, center, no repeat. So as you see, that's what's creating this right here, this background image. And then you have a mobile width. So let's say you're delivering very large images to the browser, and you want to have a condensed image because the image doesn't have to be that big for mobile. So you have an option here to set a width, and then backgrounds at mobile level, yes. Okay, so this is just going to use this one. So if you want to swap it out, all you have to do is select swap and upload your image with mobile underscore before it. So slide 1 JPEG, you'd have another one in there for mobile called mobile underscore slide 1 JPEG, and it'll swap them out at the 800 point. Or you can say no, I don't want to have any images shown at the mobile level. But we'll just leave that there to yes. And that goes for all the regions. The only difference here is in region 3, we have the component wrap background color. Say you want to have a different color for the component. The left wrap and the right wrap colors, mobile width, and the background images. And then as we go down here, we've got the footer wrap, and then the module. This is the core module background color, the title background color, the first word color, and the rest of the word colors. And then we get into the typography, the body text, the page title, the article, all the H's, and the links. And now let's get into the CSS3 effects. So the CSS3 hover effect, that's basically anything you hover gives it a fade in, fade out, kind of like you see here on the menu. Now these are all set up inside of the CSS3 effects CSS. You just add your class to it, and then this will affect it. So if you don't want to have that effect, turn that off. And here's your transition and your effect and your timing. CSS3 responsive animation. This is kind of cool. Maybe like when you're showing your client or you want to wow somebody. Basically, it animates the responsiveness of it. So as you're pulling the site in, you're going to see stuff move around a little bit like a mosaics kind of thing. But it is kind of browser intensive, and it might not work great on certain browsers. Most current browsers do support CSS3 animations. So you might just want to check that out and play with it and see if it's for you. And then we have our CSS3 component animation. And what that can do is that can slide the component in, down, left, right, or have it fade in. As well, this is just a CSS3 stylish thing that somebody might want, but it is somewhat browser intensive, and some older browsers don't support it, and you really just want to go ahead and check your browsers when you test it and see if it's really going to work for you. We've turned it off in this template because we wanted everything to load really fast, and we wanted this to be clean, fast, and simplistic. So now let's get into our typography settings. And this is where we're going to set up your text direction, left to right, your global font size, your font families, your menu font size and fonts, and just about everything here in your Joomla template for your typography is contained right here in the typography settings. And finally, we have the advanced settings. In the advanced settings, we have the CSS mode. You can load it in separate files because we do have separate files that we load. You can have it in a single file or head embedding. And depending on your server, you might want to try these. Some servers might not handle things correctly, so we've just got it set here as default for the separate files. Same with compression. You want to see if your server handles CSS compression well. And then here for the front page components, we basically have no components on the front page, and we don't want to show the component. If you have all components, then you might show Joomla content on the home page. So if you don't want to have the component on the home page, you select no components. If you'd like to have a certain component on the home page, you go ahead and select it here, or you can select all components. And here's include jQuery. We are including the latest version of jQuery in here to go ahead and work with anything that uses jQuery. We've added this toggle on and off. We didn't hard code it in there because we didn't want you to be stuck with coming up with jQuery conflicts. So if you install something that's not working quite right and it does use jQuery, you might want to go over here and turn this off and see if it works. This is more or less for testing and if you want to include jQuery. And that basically concludes our administration tutorial. Anything else that you're wondering about the template is right in our template docs page for Ocular. If you're already on that page, you just scroll down and you can see how to set everything up and all the module positions and all the markup that was used. I hope you found this tutorial informational, and we're going to see you next time.